Good afternoon. I'm going to do a follow-up video I just did earlier about these two lunatics, the Denlingers, and how they can't read English. But I'm going to go back and show, I just missed it, where she comes up there and she actually maligns her parents. These are spiritual people. They consider themselves spiritual people. She's going to malign her parents in public. So let me go back here, see if I can find it. 25.
Value items.
Yeah. I saw there was a guy on YouTube, he's a gun guy and whatever else, and he has this big collection of military firearms, and he's like, I got an insurance policy on my military firearms collection, and he's like, and what they wanted was a record of all that I have and their worth. And I'm thinking, boy, you're brilliant, you know. Obama's always saying we need to get rid of the guns, we need to get rid of the guns. Here this guy is, he's yoked up to an insurance company, and they have pictures, they have full collar pictures and value of all the guns the guy has. It's like, think about that one there, buddy. But something could happen, I could lose my guns. You're going to lose your guns because you're yoked up to insurance. Duh. And how many people, something could happen if I don't have health insurance, something could happen to me. And you know what I've seen over the years? When you have health insurance, something will happen to you. You know why? Because God says, hey, you're not relying.
Later on, it's going to talk about things that happened to him when he didn't have health insurance. That's how cuckoo these guys are.
On me, you rely on your health insurance. The Bible talks about the wicked being taken in their own ways. When you become wicked as a Christian and you say, hey, I'm going to have health insurance, I'm going to have homeowner's insurance, I'm going to have all this other stuff. My niece and her husband, just newly married, they're like in their, I think she's like 18 or something like this. But my niece, they had a house fire. And their insurance covered it. You know why they had a house fire? They're not saved or anything, but the point is, I believe they had a house fire because of their insurance policy.
So they had health, because they got insurance, they had health. If you take advice from these people, you deserve whatever you get.
I've seen that thing. I've seen it so many times.
So when he breaks his thumb, talk about this break, that's what? He had no insurance, so what was that about?
People that they'll go out, they'll get insurance, and the Lord just goes, okay, I'm pulling back. You don't want to trust me to keep you safe? Then you just have at it on your own. You say, well, what about you, Brother Bryan? Oh, well, the last time I had health insurance was probably 1996, I think.
And I had health insurance forced upon me, of course, by my greedy, money-loving, money-hungry parents.
Greedy, money-hungry, loving parents. Honor thy mother and father. Greedy, money-hungry parents. Got that? These are supposed to be your spiritual leaders. Okay? This is someone who's got real issues with her parents.
Who decided to use me as their cash cow for all sorts of financial incentives and
See the business she has with her parents?
Purposes throughout my lost life. Until I graduated high school, and I don't know how many colleges I attended as a lost woman, how many forced health insurance on me, but the point is no matter how many times I had forced health insurance in my academic years after high school, I just basically, said to myself, I convinced myself in my mind, I don't have a health insurance. I don't care what they say, I'm not using it. And if they ask me if I have it, I'm going to flat out say, no, I don't. And I have used that. And you tell a medical clinic flat out, I don't have health insurance. And depending on the place,
you better pay. You better have some money. So hey, if you got money, you don't have insurance, better have the money to pay the bill. That's the simple thing. Don't go to the thing. Don't go to the hospital without money and then say, well, you want someone else to take care of it. Fine, if you got money and don't have the insurance, especially if you're young, you probably don't need it. But the point is, you're gonna have to pay for it one way or the other. That's the reality of it. So if you have the money to pay for it, that's great.
They were like, that's okay, We get lots of people like that. 2009, I had a
lot of deadbeats too.
Health problem. female health problem at the time, caused and exacerbated by fluoridated water, because living with my family as a lost woman.
Fluoridated water. Okay.
You know, they don't see a problem with pharmaceutical fluoride. I mean, fluoridated water, created by the Jesuits, of course.
Created by the Jesuits. Lunatics. Okay.
And, you know, I went to the health clinic, one of the many health clinics in Omaha.
Now, fluoride might be a problem. I'm not saying it's not. But don't blame the Jesuits for the fluoride, please.
Nebraska at the time, in 2009, and I told the receptionist people at the front desk there at the clinic, I said flat out, I don't have health insurance, because if you're not active duty military and you go to a civilian healthcare provider, you're not automatically covered with health insurance, which for me was actually a blessing in disguise from the Lord at the time, because I didn't want to use health insurance. I saw as a little girl, before I graduated high school, how it was a scam. You know, even with my parents' Blue Cross Blue Shield policy growing up, they were like, you know, how are you going to pay for this? And the insurance company said, well, because it's such and such classification of a health problem or health issue, we're only going to cover a certain percentage. And then my parents were like, oh, how are we going to pay for this out of pocket? Oh.
They're making fun of her parents. Making fun of her parents. This is a person you're taking spiritual advice from. This is a woman here who's mocking her parents. Get that. You think these people can give you spiritual advice?
You know.
Yeah, that happens all the time. That happens all the time. I mean, what you're saying there, I mean, I've known personally of many experiences where people are just like, they go, you know, I got health insurance, I got the best that there is, and then they get some kind of major thing that goes wrong, and the health insurance company goes, whoop, drops them like a hot potato.
Yeah, it's a fact. There's no question about it. That's practical, yeah. You know how bad insurance companies are. They're always trying to find a way not to pay you. Like I said, if you don't have to have insurance, get the cash. Make sure you have cash in order to pay for whatever problem you have. That's the way to go. It has nothing to do with spirituality. This has nothing to do with spirituality.
It just goes, sorry, you're on your own.
And I just want to say this, when you go to a medical clinic that actually deals with a lot of uninsured victims of witchcraft, otherwise known as patients.
Victims of witchcraft. What is she talking about? These are the people you want to take advice from? Lunatics.
They will say, well, actually, your bill is only, you know...
No, she's the one mocking her parents. She's the one mocking her parents. Calling them money grubbers.
Such and such amount. For me at the time in 2009, it was about $115 to $120 total.
And don't complain about me saying anything about her. She's the one on the video. She's brought this stuff up.
Total was my total bill out of pocket, because I said, no, I don't have health insurance.
Fine, you got the cash to pay. A lot of people don't show up in hospitals, and they show up in the emergency ward and they don't pay anything.
You know, and they're like, that's fine. You know, here's your bill. I paid it with my debit card at the time. You know, a little over $100, and once my bill was paid, that's it. I walked out. No paperwork filed or anything. No, where's your insurance card? You know, we're gonna have to call the insurance company and whatnot. No hassle. Just paid for it right there.
Yeah, great. If you got the cash, don't get insurance. Nothing wrong with that. No one's saying there's something wrong with that. So insurance can be a big headache. No question about it. But people are willing to pay if you don't have the insurance. That's what you're taking a risk on. No one's arguing about that, but it's not spiritual. The issue is practical. It's a practical issue. If you got the money, you say, I don't need the insurance. I'll take the risk, especially if you're young. You don't need medical insurance. But the fact of the matter is, it has nothing to do with spirituality. Now, the reason we had this again, he's going to bring up the word surety again. He doesn't know what it means again.
I've had numerous injuries. This, my thumb thing I talked about in the other study there on the when to know if God's speaking to you. This thing, paid for that in cash. I fell the one.
He didn't have insurance, but he still had an injury. Now he's saying the other people who got insurance had injuries, but he got an injury despite not having insurance.
When I was logging and I landed, bruised my pelvis back there, almost was paralyzed, fell on some rocks backwards with a running chainsaw. Good times. And, you know, and I went to the hospital, and it was, you know, I thought I had internal bleeding or something. It was bad, but, you know, paid for it. Didn't know.
Yeah, you have the money. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Who cares? What's that to do with insurance?
Have any insurance. Now, I don't know how they would be right now if there was some kind of an emergency thing. Again, you know, and let me say this. Both times I had these injuries, I was messing around with sin. So the Lord will use that to, you know, kind of correct things. But, you know, I just believe, you know, I put my faith in the Lord, and we've done this now. We've proved this thing. You put your faith in the Lord will take care of you. He'll keep you away from that whole system. And but let's continue here. We got more stories as we're going to be going along, but I want to just go through the scriptures here. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 15 says, "He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth suretyship is sure." Sounds kind of confusing, but break the verse down. He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it. Again, an insurance policy when you're dealing with strangers, when you're dealing with you know, companies that, you know, are they really going to cover me and whatever else, and things like.
That's what the verse means. The verse means co-signing for someone. That's what surety means in that context. He doesn't even know what it means. That's what it means. He is a surety for a stranger shall smart for it. You don't co-sign for anybody. That's the problem. Because then you owe that debt. And he that hateth suretyship is sure. Don't co-sign for anybody. The context there for being for surety is co-signing for someone else's loan. It has nothing to do with insurance.
That you're going to smart for it. It's going to hurt you. In other words, you get hurt your fingers and you go, boy, that really smarts. That's what the King James Bible is saying here.
See, you can't read the King James Bible. These guys can't read. Just because they have a King James Bible doesn't mean they're literate. They can't read. They have their own mindset. Words go through their mind like a prism. Basically, they get twisted and distorted. Those verses in Proverbs 6 and Proverbs 11 are talking about not co-signing for a loan. They have nothing to do with insurance. This woman attacks her parents, mocks her parents, and this guy can't even read English. I'm going to stop right here because when I heard that, I said, this is just unbelievable. And just to show you, so we'll stop here. And again, he can't read. He doesn't understand context. Surety in Genesis 18 has to do with certainty. Proverbs has to do with co-signing. Co-signing for loans has nothing to do with getting insurance. Amen. Thank you.